Imagine this for a second. You're stood in the kitchen staring at the kettle while it boils. You aren't thinking about your next cup of coffee. You're thinking about that one thing you've been putting off for weeks. You're waiting for a sudden wave of bravery to hit you so you can finally get it over with. It's a habit of mind that keeps you perfectly still while the days tick past. You convince yourself that there's a version of you, maybe a few months from now, that will feel more up for it than you do today. You're waiting for a mood that doesn't exist yet, and honestly, it probably never will. The truth is, you're stuck in a queue for a feeling that isn't coming. You treat confidence like a ticket that you have to present at the door before you're allowed to start. Think about the last time you had a big meeting going on at work or a job interview. You sat in your car and you spent 20 minutes scrolling before you went in. You did it as a distraction to avoid feeling uncomfortable, to avoid the uncertainty, the apprehension. You sat there waiting for your heart to stop thumping so you could feel normal enough to move. You were looking for a green light. That's never going to come. The longer you sat there, the heavier your limbs felt, the quicker your heart started beating, and you probably found a dozen excuses to turn around and go back home. And it happens at work as well. There's an email you need to send, so you leave it sat in drafts for ages because you're too scared of what the response might be. You're essentially stuck in a loop where you feel like the mood and the motivation has to come before the action. It's basically the same as standing in front of a cold radiator and waiting for it to get hot before you decide to turn the heating on. It doesn't work like that. Every time you wait to take action, what you're really doing is teaching your brain that the task is something to be feared. You're making the obstacle bigger by staring at it from a distance, and the more you fixate on it, the more you convince yourself that you're not the kind of person that can handle it. Confidence isn't something you're born with or a personality trait that you find behind the back of the sofa. It's simply a memory of things you've already done and encountered in the past. Your brain is really quite a simple machine in some ways. It looks at what you've done yesterday and evaluates what you're capable of doing today. When you avoid that phone call or walk past that person you need to speak to, your brain takes note. It records that you weren't able to handle that moment, and then it logs it. This makes the next time feel even scarier than the first. You're giving away your power every time you choose the safe option of doing nothing. You think you're protecting yourself from embarrassment, but you're actually just starving your brain of proof. You're keeping yourself small to try and stay safe. Think about when you first started learning to drive. You didn't feel confident on day one. You felt like a bit of an idiot thinking you would stall at every junction. You only felt capable after you'd messed up a few times and carried on going anyway. The confidence didn't fall out of the sky. It was built out of the bricks of those awkward, sweaty moments. It came from repetition, not from a burst of inspiration. When you're scrolling through your phone at night, looking for a video to make you feel brave, you're looking in the wrong place. Motivation is a fair weather friend. It disappears the moment that things get slightly uncomfortable. The reason you feel stuck isn't because you lack talent or inner strength. It's because you've been trying to think your way into a new life, rather than acting into one. You're trying to solve a physical problem with purely mental tools. You can't argue with your brain to make it believe that you're confident. You have to show it the proof, the evidence, by doing everything that's making your palms sweaty right now. The truth is, you don't need to feel good to do something well. You can be terrified, shaking, completely unsure of yourself, and still put one foot in front of the other. Capability is much more useful than confidence anyway. Capability is knowing that even if it goes wrong, you'll probably be all right in the end. If you keep waiting for the fear to vanish, you'll be waiting till you're old and full of regrets. That fear is a permanent passenger in your life. You may as well get used to it. Sit in the back of the car as a passenger while you drive. It doesn't have to have its hands on the steering wheel. Stop trying to fix your feelings and start trying to fix your schedule. Pick the smallest, most boring version of the task you're avoiding right now and just do it. Just do it before you have time to talk yourself out of it. If you need to go for a run, just put your trainers on and go and stand out on the pavement if you need to do that. If you need to write a report, just open up your laptop and write one sentence. You need to break the seal of doing nothing. Success isn't about the quality of the result right now. It's about the fact that you didn't let the waiting win today. Every time you show up when you'd rather hide, you're rewriting your own story. You're proving to yourself that feelings don't have to be in charge. The cost of staying exactly where you are is far higher than looking a bit silly for a few minutes. You're trading your entire future for a moment of comfort. You spent enough time being a spectator in your own life, watching other people do the things that you want to do. They've just stopped caring about whether they feel ready or not. They realise that ready is a feeling that shows up after the job is done. The heavy truth you have to live with is this: no one is going to come and push you. The right time is a lie that you tell yourself to feel better about being stuck. You're already as ready as you're ever going to be. Now get up and do the thing anyway.